Number 4, Guy Vickers. Number 5, Max Greenberg. Number 10, Devin Jang. Number 13, Isaiah Valdez. And number 21, Christian Brunin. Head coach, Adam Schrager. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to East Gymnasium at Fort Lee High School. The setting for this arch rivalry renewed as the Cliffside Park Red Raiders, 5-4 on the season, 1-0 in league play, have come calling to take on the Fort Lee Bridgemen, 3-7 overall in the season, and also 1-1 in league action. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by my producer, Dimitri Nanis, our camera operator, Renee Matisic. Thanks for joining us on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. These two sides meeting here for the first time this season. They will meet again later on February 1st in Cliffside Park. An interesting environment here at East Gymnasium today. Only fans allowed, being family and their parents. No students for either school allowed to be here today. Also a storm brewing outside, so have a little bit of everything here today. We hope that you are nice and dry and safe wherever you may be, and sit back and get ready to enjoy this one. Fort Lee has had the better of this rivalry of late, having won 4 out of the last 5 overall meetings, but the last meeting came here a season ago on February 2nd. Cliffside Park beat Fort Lee in rallying fashion, 39-38. Fort Lee's going to be in their home black, Cliffside Park in their road white. And possession is going to be ruled to be going over to Fort Lee to start off here this afternoon. Last touch out of bounds by Cliffside Park. Marcus Haddon is the head coach of the Red Raiders. Adam Schrager in his 6th season in charge of Fort Lee. Max Greenberg flips out into the corner to Devin Jang. Jang, the senior, pulls up. Jumper left short. Rebounded by Rojas. Ryan Rojas of Cliffside Park bringing it down the other way. Inside the three-point arc. Cliffside Park trying to attack. They're trying to snap a losing streak here. They've lost their last 2 in a row. Fort Lee also coming off a loss last weekend against Bergen Tech. Three-point shot knocked down to the near side by Brian Gonzalez. Gonzalez knocks down the first Cliffside Park shot of the game. They lead Fort Lee 3-0. Fort Lee was trying to get it over to Bruden, and that's thrown out of bounds for a turnover. Fort Lee lost to Bergen Tech 59-28 on January 6th. Last game for Cliffside Park came on the road last night against Hoboken. They lost to Hoboken 58-36. So both teams trying to not only bounce back, but bounce back after tough efforts. Rojas outletting it over to Jamil Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a left hand across the lane, trying to bank it home, no good. Bruden secures the loose ball rebound. Devin Jang will bring it down the other way. Jang, the leading scorer for this Bridgman side. High arcing shot goes over the defender. And the first 2 points of the game for Fort Lee. 3-2 lead for Cliffside Park. Jang was held scoreless in the last game against Bergen Tech, had only 1 rebound. Gets his first 2 points of this game. Setting and firing for a 3 by Gonzalez, no good. Junior misfired that time. Here's Valdez in the open floor. Trying to take his defender off the dribble. Hands it off instead on the baseline to Greenberg. Bruden, Euro stepping. Lost it in the handle, though, as he tried to transfer it from his right to his left hand. That leads to transition break the other way for Cliffside Park. Dumped down low to Kendrick Hunter. And Hunter was fouled as the senior big man will head to the line to shoot a pair. Hunter's first foul shot attempt is good. First point of the game for Hunter. Last February's win here in East Gymnasium snapped a 5-game losing streak in the series for Cliffside Park against the Bridgman, dating back to 2020. No good on the second foul shot attempt. 4-2 lead for Cliffside Park. 5:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Valdez being guarded by Hunter. Valdez has emerged as an offensive threat for Fort Lee. Greenberg got hacked as he was going on his way up towards the rim. And Max Greenberg, the junior guard, will have a chance to earn his first 2 points of the game at the foul line. Greenberg had 6 points, 2 rebounds in the last matchup against Cliffside Park a season ago. Second foul shot for Max is good. He got on the board. 1 of 2 that trip at the line. It's 4-3 lead for Cliffside Park. Your full court pressure being administered by Coach Schrager's Bridgman. And that hounding defense just a little too strong as Bruden will be called for the foul. Christian Bruden getting the start, 5'9" sophomore. Fort Lee drops into a 2-3 zone. Nice ball movement leading to the easy bucket underneath for Jarrell's Ortiz. Decisive offense that time for Cliffside Park. Couple tic-tac-toe passes leading to the layup underneath the rim. 6-3 lead for the Red Raiders, matching their largest lead of the quarter. Jang trying to receive a pick from Vickers. Into the corner it goes to Valdez. Up top to Guy Vickers. Vickers, 3, no good. Tipped around into the hands, and here's the breakout the other way for Cliffside Park. And a traveling violation against Ortiz as he was trying to sail his way to the rim. 4:37 left to go here in the first quarter. Again, thank you for joining us for this broadcast coverage of today's rivalry showdown between Fort Lee and Cliffside Park. Valdez across the lane, gets it swatted away by Hunter. Out of bounds, last touch off of Cliffside Park, so possession will stay here with the Bridgman. Jang, quick set and fire, no good. Rattled in and out. Ball loose underneath briefly and then thrown off of the Fort Lee player out of the hands of Ortiz. Last touch off of Fort Lee. Two teams traded their meetings and split their meetings a season ago. Fort Lee won the first meeting at Cliffside Park 61-52 on January 10th. But then again, suffered a stinging defeat here at home, 39-38 on February 2nd, after Fort Lee was leading for a majority of the game. Ortiz across the middle. Good defense there by Vickers. Better offense by Ortiz. Ortiz has 4 points in the quarter. Largest lead of the game now for Cliffside Park, up to 5, 8-3. Past the midway point of the first quarter. Valdez getting it to Vickers. Just beyond the foul line, turns and fires. Jumper no good. Rebounded out to Brian Gonzalez. Dumped down low in the near side, Ortiz with a cutter inside and one opportunity. Jamil Gonzalez on the off-ball cut, getting the benefit of that dish inside from Ortiz, and now a chance at a traditional three-point play. Gonzalez, a junior guard, has now given Cliffside Park a 7-point lead at 10-3. Shot was left short. He'll settle for the two. Fort Lee struggling offensively here, as has been the case throughout the course of this season. Trying to generate some offense. Valdez handing it off to Jang. Jacob Greenberg into the game now, number 15. Here's Devin, trying to take his defender one-on-one. Fadeaway shot, no good. Fight for the loose ball, controlled that time by Gonzalez. Gonzalez out of control, try to just flip it up to the rim. Vickers with a rebound. Guy Vickers leads the team with 9.5 rebounds per game this season. Greenberg left that one short, but the putback is good inside by Valdez. Isaiah Valdez getting a 2-point bucket that time, crashing the offensive boards. 10-5 lead for Cliffside Park. Pulled back out now by Jamil Gonzalez. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Worked around. Brian Gonzalez in front of us. And a reach-in foul against Max Greenberg. That'll be the fourth team foul against Fort Lee. Cliffside Park has only committed one foul so far this quarter. No more fouls to give for the Bridgemen. Any other subsequent fouls will lead to foul shots here in the first quarter. Move inside. And there's a foul from behind after that rim run by Kendrick Hunter was off the mark. That'll send Hunter back to the foul line, where he's 1 for 2 in this game. Guy Vickers picking up the foul, his first, team's 5th. Fort Lee over the limit here in the remainder of this first quarter. Hunter no good, too strong on that foul shot attempt. He's missed his last two. Second foul shot also no good, so Kendrick Hunter has now missed 3 in a row at the foul line. He's 1 for 4 at the charity stripe. Cliffside Park doubling up Fort Lee 10-5. A turnover forced from behind by Ryan Rojas. And a turnover right back for Cliffside Park after Hunter lost his footing and traveled with the basketball. Big game when you're looking at the potential postseason. Fort Lee, again, right now is outside looking in at the postseason. They come in with the 18th most power points in North 2 Group 3. Top 16 teams make the playoff field. Cliffside Park would rank right now as number 12. They would be in the postseason, but would be on the road in the first round. Valdez, curling shot, and one finish, and he flexes as he's getting up off the hardwood. Beautiful reverse layup attempt that time by the 6'1 senior forward. And now he has a chance at a traditional three-point play with 1:21 left to go here in the first quarter. And Valdez, who is a silky smooth foul shooter, converts there, giving him 5 points in this game. He's the leading scorer for the Bridgemen. And Fort Lee's gone on a run. They've now pulled back to within 2 at 10-8. Mid-range jumper falls that time by Rojas. Across the lane, Ryan Rojas, the senior, found some separation and was able to knock down the J. 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Neve Murray is coming to the game, number 3 off the Fort Lee bench. Valdez looking for a little room to operate. Gets it back up top to Devin Jang. Jang to the near side. Dribbles behind the back, kicks out into the corner to Jacob Greenberg. Greenberg weaves his way inside. Vickers, patient offense for Fort Lee. Vickers on the board for the first time off the assist by Jacob Greenberg. Great offense overall. Best possession of the game there for Fort Lee. Ortiz took his eyes off it as it bounced off his hands out of bounds as it looked like he was going to be going up for a layup attempt. 15.1 seconds left to go in the quarter. Ten seconds left for Valdez. Valdez has been the best scorer in this quarter here for Fort Lee. Crossing his man over, up and under move, just beats the buzzer. Outstanding one-on-one move to the rim. No help defense on the play for Cliffside Park. And Valdez, the up and under scoop shot finish, will have this game knotted up at 12-12 after 1 quarter of play. Stick around, fans, as we'll be back for all the action to start the second quarter of play. As Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics would like to thank our proud sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. A fun first 8 minutes in the books. 12-12 your score. Cliffside Park led by as many as 7 points in that first quarter. But a nice comeback there to end the quarter by the home Bridgemen, leveling the score heading into the start of the second quarter. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Dimitri Nanis, Renee Matisic. Another edition of this epic rivalry between these two schools. Bruden knocking that one out of bounds. Last touch off of the Fort Lee sophomore. Inbounds upcoming for Rojas and Cliffside Park. Fort Lee has never led in this game. A little battling going on down low, but that entry pass was stolen away by Devin Jang. Now Fort Lee with a chance to take its first lead of the first half. Jang trying to cross up his defender. Bruden looking for the outlet, gets it to Vickers. Vickers operating with his back to the basket. Jang straightaway jumper, it's good! Foot on the line, a long range 2. Devin Jang now with 4. Fort Lee with their first lead, this time at 14-12. Rojas the other way, lost his footing. Looking for an outlet himself. Worked around to the near side, and Ortiz again picked up his pivot foot and gets called for traveling. Jarrell's Ortiz a couple times now has turned it over, just getting a little too anxious to get his entry to the rim. Valdez was spectacular in that first quarter. He continues his top-notch play. Valdez went right to the rim without any hesitation whatsoever, and a timeout taken on the floor by Cliffside Park. It's been all Fort Lee in the last couple of minutes of this game, as the Bridgmen will extend its lead now to 16-12. As we're getting back here in East Gymnasium again, kind of a different scenario, a different situation here. No students for either school allowed entry here today because of the last couple of seasons and everything that were the extracurriculars outside of the gym as well as conduct inside the gym. Parents are allowed to come here today, but this is more reminiscent of the COVID years of not having that many spectators allowed to be inside for this matchup. Fort Lee, though, has fueled themselves with their own momentum. Isaiah Valdez up to a game-high 9 points now. He's got 9 of Fort Lee's 16. It's been a tough season so far for the Bridgmen. 3 wins in their first 10 games. A win here, though, would feel mighty fine. And it's going to be a foul on the floor against Fort Lee. So they were trying their darndest to box out. Now it looks like it's against Christian Bruden, and Bruden on the board. That's his 3rd personal foul already. We have 6 minutes and change left to go in the second quarter, and a long-range 3 by Thomas Calabrese. Second 3 of the game for Cliffside Park. They're back to within 1 at 16-15. Jang answers with a triple of his own. Splashing that one home. He's got 5 quick points here in the second quarter. He's up to 7. Second leading scorer for the Bridgmen behind Valdez. Lob to the rim, off the mark. And then a reach-in foul against Fort Lee. Fort Lee's been fouling at a high rate so far in this game. Now we'll go against Max Greenberg. That is his second. Team second. Ortiz inside, try to wrap the pass around Vickers, but instead turned it over. Valdez in the open floor, knocked away. Max Greenberg straight away. Knocked off to the right side of the rim. Ortiz with a rebound. Rojas almost banked it in. Awkward looking shot. Jang with a rebound, trying to weave his way through traffic. Jang got hooked a foul from behind. Will it be deemed in the act of shooting? That's the question, or just a simple foul on the floor? 4:58 left to go in the second quarter. 19-15. Fort Lee on top. This ties their largest lead of the game. Cliffside Park led by as many as 7 points in that first quarter. Jang was left open in the inbound. Jang just could not knock in his second consecutive 3. Jamil Gonzalez getting it over to Calabrese. Bounce pass inside to Nick Ortiz. First time he's in the game. Has it snatched out of midair from behind by Vickers. Great interior defense there by the Bridgman Jr. Valdez sets and fires from straight away. He nearly banked it in. Vickers crashes the offensive glass. Hook shot left short. Still possession, though, on offense here for Fort Lee. Jacob Greenberg looking for the outlet. Gets it over to Devin Jang. Jang trying to get behind the back, and Coach Rager saw possibly a turnover on the horizon. He'll call for the timeout to stop play and save possession for his team. 4:08 left to go in the second quarter. Fort Lee on top of Cliffside Park, 19-15 here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. 19-15, Fort Lee in front as we're approaching the midway point of quarter number 2. Richmond have outscored Cliffside Park 7-3 so far here in the second. Jang with a couple of jab steps. Vickers trying to go right to the rim. Ortiz was hung up in the air and a late foul called. It was a clean rejection, but Ortiz got all the body inside before even that shot was attempted by Vickers. Good post move there. Picks up the first foul of the game against the sophomore big man for Cliffside Park. Ty Vickers hits the back of the rim twice, but doesn't get the friendly shooter's roll. Vickers had 17 points, 9 rebounds in the losing effort against Bergen Tech in the last game. Vickers goes 1 of 2 at the line. He's got 3 in the half. And Fort Lee off the turnover. Gets it right back to Devin Jang, who tickles the twine again from deep. He's got 10. Another turnover. Leads to the breakout the other way. Greenberg initiates the contact, and it's going to be a blocking foul. The defender for Cliffside Park in Calabrese was not able to get to his spot to beat Greenberg to that spot in time. Good aggressive take there to the rim by Max. And Greenberg will now head back to the foul line to shoot 2. He's 1 of 2 at the line here in this game. Missing on the first foul shot. Largest lead of the game here for the Bridgemen, up to 8, 23-15. Largest lead for either team. 3:29 left to go in the first half. Greenberg once again goes 1 of 2 at the line. He's got 2 points here in the first half. 9-point lead, 24-15. Fort Lee playing much better than they did in a sluggish start to this game. Trying to maneuver inside was Jamil Gonzalez. Contorted the body, just couldn't get it to fall though. And now Gonzalez is going to be called for the reach-in foul. He tried to knock his head backwards to sell it, but he was the one who initiated that first bump. For Jamil Gonzalez, that is foul number 2. 4th team foul against Cliffside Park. They have no more fouls to give in this second quarter. Only 2 fouls committed by Fort Lee. Max Greenberg across the middle of the lane. What a fake pass, or what a fake shot, I should say, that led to the pass. Fed a wide open guy, Vickers underneath the rim for the easiest of 2. Vickers now with 5 points in the half, an assist there for Max Greenberg. Beautiful court vision. Everything's coming up Fort Lee right now. And a 3-second violation inside against Cliffside Park. Red Raiders starting to struggle here with 2:42 left to go in the first half. Devin Jang with a game-high 10. Isaiah Valdez right behind him with 9. They've been sensational, scoring 19 of Fort Lee's 26 points. Here's Valdez right now. Getting over to Max Greenberg. Greenberg across the lane. Got that one thwarted away, got it blocked away. Ball goes back over to Cliffside Park. Red Raiders looking to push in transition. Rojas forced to throw it back close to midcourt. Fort Lee playing exceptional defense here in the first half. Ortiz feeding down underneath, and a traveling call against Hunter. Took a bunny hop step there. And now an opportunity and sub being made here for Fort Lee, as it looks like Max Greenberg has to be attended to by the trainer, Tom Herr. Murray will come onto the floor for the Bridgemen. Fort Lee in their home black and orange. Cliffside Park wearing their road white and red. Fort Lee trying to make it 6 wins in their last 7 matchups against their arch rival. Jacob Greenberg with a leaner trying to bank it in, but the bank was closed that time. Cliffside Park still stuck on only 3 total points scored in this quarter. Now a late whistle after making his entry across the lane was Jamil Gonzalez. Only points in this entire quarter so far for Cliffside Park was that 3-ball knocked down by the freshman Calabrese. And that foul shot rolls in and out. Gonzalez now 0 for 2 at the line. He's still on 2 points in his first half. Cliffside Park has an offense averaging just under 56 points per game. But they have been stymied here by the Bridgman in the first half. Gonzalez misses a pair. And the struggles at the line continue for Cliffside Park. They are 1 of 6. 1 of 7, I should say, at the line here in this game. Jang, the couple of defenders flying by him, step back 3. Jang's got already 2 threes in the game. Vickers gets fouled on his way up. Fort Lee is being very patient on offense. They're doing the head and shoulder fakes to have the defenders fly by them or into them. And they're being rewarded now with these foul shot opportunities. And the junior back to the line. Double bonus the rest of the quarter now as Vickers knocks down the first foul shot. 27-15, Fort Lee playing one of their better halves of basketball here today. Vickers, a perfect trip to the line there. He's knocked down 3 in a row. He's 3 for 4 at the foul line. He's got 7. So it's been a 3-headed monster of sorts offensively for Fort Lee today. They lead by 13. Ortiz right to the rim and gets that one to fall. Jarrell's Ortiz, who was slow to get back to his feet after he took a tumble on the floor. Ortiz has 6 of his team's 17 points in the first half. As we close in on the final minute of the first half of play here from East Gymnasium. Valdez. Flankered away from the baseline. Vickers drive and dish out into the corner. Jacob Greenberg back to Vickers. Vickers sets and fires, no good. And Murray gets called for the over-the-back foul. That's going to be the 4th team foul. No more fouls to give now for Fort Lee. First personal foul against Neve Murray. Cliffside Park trying to bring their deficit down to single digits just before the break. Now Labrise getting it inside the post. Maneuvering inside, no good. Vickers comes away with a rebound after Ortiz was trying to tip it out in space. 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Coach Schrager asking for one final shot of the half for his team. There's Devin Jang still dribbling up a storm as he's coming up on the final 10 seconds of the second. Going all the way back to the midcourt stripe. The switch off. Jang into the corner. Valdez attacking inside. And Fort Lee just couldn't get the shot off in time, but they're happy to still take a 11-point lead with them into halftime. At the break, it's Fort Lee 28, Cliffside Park 17. Stick around, fans, as we'll be back for more broadcast coverage of this rivalry showdown to start the second half as you're watching all the action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel, courtesy of our proud sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee Soccer Club. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Fort Lee leading Cliffside Park in this rivalry showdown 28-17. Cliffside Park was led by Terrell Ortiz's 6 points, while Fort Lee was led by Devin Jang's game-high 10 points. Isaiah Valdez chipped in 9 points. Guy Vickers was 7. Fort Lee and Cliffside Park were tied at 12. After the first 8 minutes of play, Fort Lee a dominant second quarter, outscoring the Red Raiders 16-5 to pad their lead. Here to start off the second half of play, Dan Long, Renee Matisic, Dimitri Nanis. Thanks for joining us. Handoff is to Devin Jang, and Jang got that layup going high off the glass, and a jarring screen leveled against Rojas, who was still slow to get to his feet. Jang now with 12 points in this game. It was a clean play on that hard screen that really knocked Rojas slowly down to the deck. Cliffside Park trying to start off the second half the way they started the first half with a Gonzalez 3, but his shot was off the mark. Valdez across the middle. Pull back jumper, no good. Fight for the loose ball, and Vickers is going to get called for the foul, with the collision ensuing between him and Jamil Gonzalez. And for Guy Vickers, that was his 3rd personal foul. He's got to be careful here. Coach Schrager needs him on the floor, especially to contend with the size of Ortiz. Let's give a shout out to all of the fans watching in Rochester, New York, cheering on for the Greenberg boys, and Max Greenberg gets that rebound inside. Out up top to Devin Jang. Around the perimeter now to Valdez. There's Jang again. 12 points, leading scorer for all players in this game. Hard contested jumper, and he still knocks in the fadeaway jumper and has a little something to say afterwards. 14 points for Devin Jang. Kick out, wide open 3, a must-have bucket that time by Ryan Rojas. Rojas knocks in his first made 3 of the game. Only the 3rd made 3 for Cliffside Park. They're back to within 12, 32-20. Vickers lost the handle inside the lane, then got it stripped away from behind. Cliffside Park trying to build off the momentum of that last 3-point shot, and an offensive foul whistled inside against Cliffside Park. Great job that time by Christian Bruden of getting dirty. Sacrificed the body inside, took the charge. Offensive foul went against Kendrick Hunter, and for Hunter, that was foul number 2. Both teams have committed 1 foul apiece through the first 2 minutes of action here to begin the 3rd quarter of play. Fort Lee looking for their 4th win of the season and also 2nd win in league play. Cliffside Park trying to bounce back after suffering back-to-back defeats and trying to get their 6th win of the season in this game number 10 for them. Vickers in the foul line extended area. Now Max Greenberg being shadowed by Gonzalez. Vickers inside, drum stop, inside the lane, begs it home. Guy Vickers up to 9 points here in the ball game. 14-point advantage for Fort Lee. Sidestepping a couple of defenders was Jamil Gonzalez. He got fouled on the pass. No shot attempt. That'll be a foul charged against Max Greenberg, and for Greenberg, he's now playing with 3 personal fouls. So a number of Bridgman players have to be careful if they picked up a lot of fouls so far. Still an enormous amount of time left to go in this second half. Pass inside, now pass back outside. The 3 left short on the far left side. Eventually found its way to Max Greenberg's hands. Greenberg getting pressure to the full court. And a timeout is going to be granted to Coach Adam Schrager. Despite the protests of Marcus Haddon, the head coach at Cliffside Park, he might have a point there, as Fort Lee did not have clean possession, but still were granted the timeout on the play. I'd like to thank all of our proud broadcast sponsors of Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics here on our broadcast on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. The law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law offices of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. Fort Lee has already surpassed their game total from their last game when they were held to a season-low 28 points against Bergen Tech. Fort Lee has struggled mightily on offense throughout the course of this season, being held under 40 points in 5 games. They're closing in on the 40-point mark already, and a foul after the Bridgemen were able to break the pressure thanks to Max Greenberg. Foul went against Jamil Gonzalez, and for Gonzalez, that is his third personal foul, so the foul's starting to pile up for both teams. Devin Zhang, top of the key. Dribbling down and now pulling it back out. Zhang fouled on the pass after he was trying to get it down low to Vickers. That'll be the third team foul against Cliffside Park, as Rojas picked up the foul, his second. Red Raiders with only one more foul to give here in the third quarter. Devin Zhang open for the 3-ball. No good, tipped out into the hands of Rojas. The head of steam in front of him. Gonzalez dribbled it off his own foot. Out of bounds, and a turnover gives it back over to Fort Lee. Cliffside Park has struggled mightily here offensively so far in this game. They're going to hope that defense can lead to some offense. Good hustle play, though, by Jacob Greenberg to save possession here for the Bridgemen. Zhang gets his pocket picked by Rojas. He timed it perfectly. And that time a clean block, but eventually it leads to the flush, but they're going to say that was a goaltend. So the points will actually be credited to Ryan Rojas. Rojas up to 7 points in this game. Devin Zhang a little banged up after the course of that last play when he coughed up possession of the ball. Flexing on his shooting hand. Did he potentially jam a finger? 12-point lead for Fort Lee. Trying to get it right back to Devin Zhang. Cross-court pass too high to handle by Valdez. Good sportsmanship there displayed by Kendrick Hunter, helping Valdez back up off the floor. And a turnover gives a little momentum and possession back over to Cliffside Park. 3:45 and counting left to go in the third quarter. Thanks again for joining us to watch this rivalry showdown exclusively here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Hook pass into the wide open side. 3 no good. Pinballed around. Caroms out to open space to Devin Zhang. Zhang got fouled again after he was trying to outlet a pass to a teammate. Cliffside Park with their 4th team foul. No more fouls to give for the Red Raiders. The foul will go against Brian Gonzalez, his first. Foul shots for the rest of the quarter on the horizon here for Fort Lee if they can get fouls called against Cliffside Park. Jacob Greenberg takes his man off the dribble, gets it over to Guy Vickers. Vickers tried to go backdoor pass, but his pass not on the mark. Down the other way, Valdez tried to draw the offensive foul. No foul on the play, and the drop-off pass finds a wide-open Brian Gonzalez for 2. His first point since the first shot of the game. Lead is down to 10, 34-24. Vickers in the high post. Takes his defender all the way down to the rim. Got blocked from behind. Vickers again will try his luck and get fouled, as Vickers will head to the foul line to shoot 2 with 2:43 left to go here in the third quarter of action. That foul will be charged against Jarrell Ortiz, and Ortiz will pick up his 3rd personal foul, team's 5th, was in the act of shooting anyway. 2 shots for Guy Vickers, who's been great at the foul line here today. He's now hit 4 in a row, and he's 4 for 5. He's up to double figures as well with 10 points. 2 leading scorers on the season for Fort Lee have come to play. Vickers has been money at the line. He's got 11. And it's back to a 12-point margin in favor of the Bridgemen, 36-24. Long-range 3 by Calabrese. His second connection from downtown. He's got 6 points off of the Cliffside Park bench. Down to single figures now. 36-27. And a reach-in foul against Kendrick Hunter. Just wasn't being patient, and that sends Valdez to the foul line. Once again, it's the bonus situation, so double bonus the rest of the quarter. 2 shots on any subsequent foul for Fort Lee. Isaiah Valdez still on his 9 points from the first half. Valdez too strong on the first foul shot. Fort Lee was 6 for 9 from the foul line in the first half. Valdez trying to make this a 10-point lead. And does just that. Swishes home that foul shot. 3rd different Bridgeman player now in double figures. He's got 10. 37-27. Cross-court pass. Calabrese off balance and fouled on his way up to the rim. So Fort Lee was trying to flare out to defend against that sharpshooter in Calabrese. And he instead tucked it down and went right to the rim. Search for the contact, and now will be given 2 shots at the foul line. Seven points for the freshman, getting his first opportunity to experience this heated rivalry in person. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. 5 quick points for him here in this third quarter. He's got 8, and the lead is only 8, 37-29. Cliffside Park trying to pull closer and closer to Fort Lee with under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Fort Lee is led by as many as 14 in this game. Cliffside Park led by as many as 7 back in the first quarter. Vickers trying to hook around the defense. And if this is a foul against Ortiz, that would be his 4th personal foul. 97 seconds left to go in the third quarter. That is an enormous 4th foul of the game now whistled against Jarrell Ortiz. So Ortiz will stay in this game playing with a 4th personal foul. Guy Vickers will head back to the foul line with a chance to increase his point total. Vickers is in a zone right now in terms of his foul shooting. 6 made foul shots in a row for the big man for Fort Lee. He's up to 12 points. Missed finally on that last offering. 38-29 lead, 90 seconds left to go in the third quarter for Fort Lee. Defensive breakdown leads to the easy layup inside for Kendrick Hunter. Hunter's got 3 in the game, his first field goal. Lead is now down to 7. Dangerous bounce pass in the entry. Vickers against the smaller defender, and Vickers tees off. Easy lay-in, 14 points now for Vickers. He's the leading scorer along with Devin Zhang in this game. 14 points apiece. Under a minute now left to go here in the third quarter. Rojas start and stop. Calabrese off to the near side. Oh, what a touch from downtown. Calabrese with his 3rd 3 of the game. He's got a game-high 11 and a turnover right away on the inbound for Fort Lee. The lead has been trimmed down to 6, 40-34. Fort Lee has had trouble preserving big leads this season, as that's going to be a turnover up top. Nick Ortiz shuffled his feet. .6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Have to think if you're Fort Lee, you're going to try to get the ball to Ortiz. Calabrese, the much smaller defender, guarding him. Ortiz is out of this game defensively. The big man inside for Cliffside Park after picking up his 4th personal foul. And now a foul's going to be whistled on the penetration move, that time by Valdez. Again, because it's double bonus time, Valdez will take his foul shots. 20.6 seconds left to go in the third, and Fort Lee with a chance to extend their lead on these 2 foul shots, and Valdez still flexing his leg a bit after he had that hard collision. Perfect mop-up job there by the athletic director for Fort Lee, Mike Raftery. Valdez missing on the foul shot. He's 2 of 4 at the line here today. Vickers will be subbed off the floor as Coach Schrager trying to keep his big man away from potentially picking up a 4th foul. Valdez missing on a pair. That's unlike him, normally a very good and consistent foul shooter. Now Cliffside Park can claw a little closer. 40-34, 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Rojas, step back 3, airballs it. Underneath, shot opportunity up top, no good. But now Nick Ortiz with 1.2 seconds left in the third will have a chance to move a little closer. Ortiz getting ready here. Makes the first foul shot. 5-point game. Cliffside Park is woken up after a very sluggish second quarter. And now a chance to potentially make this only a 4-point lead for Fort Lee in the waning moments of the third quarter. Missed foul shot. Here's the putback attempt by Gonzalez, no good. But a rally nonetheless there for Cliffside Park as we head to the fourth quarter of play. Fort Lee on top of Cliffside, 40-35. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. It's what you've come to expect in this rivalry, a good game. Cliffside Park trying to rally yet again here at East Gymnasium like they did a season ago. They trailed by as many as 14 points in this game. They're back to within 5. They start with possession to begin the fourth quarter of play. They're in their road white, Fort Lee defending in their home black and orange. And that's going to be a blocking foul. Whistle against Christian Bruden as Kendrick Hunter was trying to post him up. That is the fourth personal foul against Bruden. One more and his afternoon would come to a close. Cutter inside, it's Hunter. Kick out back to Gonzalez for three. That caroms out into the corner, could not be tracked down by Cliffside Park before it was touched out of bounds. Possession back over to Fort Lee. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by my compatriots, Dimitri Nanis, our broadcast producer, Renee Matisich doing the exquisite job of the camera operation here from East Gymnasium. Valdez straight to the rim. No denial that time. Valdez up to 12 points in this game. Going down the other way was Brian Gonzalez. No rim protection for either team. Just layup lines the last back-to-back possessions. Valdez hands it off. Jang back up top. Inside to Vickers. Again, no big man inside against him. It's going to be a reach-in foul against Cliffside Park. Foul went against Gonzalez, his second. Team's first. Both teams have one foul apiece so far committed in this fourth quarter. Devin Jang coming in off the curl. Jang, step back jumper, no good. Leads to the breakout the other way for Cliffside Park. The contact and the foul. Devin Jang wasn't really in a position to settle in for a potential charge. Was kind of caught in between, and Cliffside Park benefits greatly there. A chance here for Kendrick Hunter to make this a three-point play. And if he does, that'll bring the game back to only a 2-point margin. And he does. 6 points now for Kendrick Hunter. And Fort Lee has found their struggles yet again offensively. Stuck on 42 to 40. Greenberg drive and dish to Vickers. And off his back to Max Greenberg. Double team comes to Vickers. Greenberg for three. No good. Vickers on the offensive glass. Maneuvers inside, up and under move. A strong take there by the junior. He's got a game-high 16. 44-40. Fort Lee in front coming up on 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Rojas over. On that near side, back to Rojas. Front rimmed it. Rebounded by Max Greenberg. Greenberg going coast to coast. Layup no good. Bruden has it deflect off his thigh. Out of bounds. Last touch off of Fort Lee. 5:49 left to go in regulation. Already a higher scoring game than last year's contest that finished 39-38 here inside East Gym. Cliffside Park came away with the last laugh in that game. Can Fort Lee exact revenge? Gonzalez kicks it out, corner three ball. Calabrese, fourth three of the game for the freshman. You can't leave him open. 14 points for the Red Raiders. 1 point lead now for Fort Lee. Greenberg dribble it off his foot. And then will be called for the reach-in foul. That is the fourth personal foul against Max Greenberg. Third team foul of the quarter against Fort Lee. They have only one more foul to give. Calabrese trying to give his team the lead. He's been electric in his shooting from the outside in this game. He's got more threes single-handedly than all of Fort Lee. Valdez right in front of us. Gets it to Vickers. Vickers on the drop-off pass inside. And it's going to be a traveling call against Jacob Greenberg. That seemed to be the good call. Even though there was a foul, it was after the shuffling in the feet by number 15. 44-43. Cliffside Park again with a chance to take the lead back, which they haven't held in quite some time, and a traveling violation against the Red Raiders. Caught in between that time was Kendrick Hunter. Whether to take the shot or pass it, he was electing to pass it, and he took an extra step as well. Valdez spinning away from the defender. Valdez gets fouled on his way up for a layup from behind. Gonzalez voicing his displeasure. He thought he got all ball. Third personal foul against Brian Gonzalez. Will send Isaiah Valdez to the foul line to shoot two. He's 1 of 4 from the foul line today. First foul shot by Valdez, no good. He has now had 3 consecutive misses at the foul line. He is 1 of 5 from the line in this game. Trying to extend the Fort Lee lead to 2. And he does. 13-point performance for the senior. 45-43, Fort Lee leading by 2. Driving the baseline, trying to dish it behind, inside to Hunter. Last touch out of bounds off of Fort Lee. That was a good little drive and dish opportunity. If Hunter had held on to that cleanly, that would have been a layup line. Kick out into the corner for 3. No good. Great box out underneath by Valdez. Wins the 50-50 ball. Gets it down the floor to Devin Jang. Jang high off the reverse layup attempt, no good. And Vickers will be called for the loose ball foul. And that should be his 4th personal foul as well in this game. So Guy Vickers, much like Max Greenberg, another fellow starter, has picked up his 4th personal foul as we're coming up on the midway point of quarter number 4. Fort Lee looking for their 4th win of the season. Cliffside Park looking for win number 6. Across the lane, cleanly stripped that time, was Derez Ortiz. This one has the feeling like it's going to be coming down to the wire. Midway point of the 4th quarter. Nice move by Hunter inside, no good. Tipped off the fingertips, though, of Vickers. Hunter tracks it down. He also misses again, and his 3rd attempt finally is the charm. Kendrick Hunter crashing the offensive boards, and we are tied at 45-45. Valdez handing it off to Greenberg. Max working up top to Valdez. Now Devin Jang. Jang again, hard contested shot from 15 feet out. No good. Could have found a better shot opportunity. Jang was just trying to force it a little too much. And there's the layup that is giving Cliffside Park back the lead. Jamil Gonzalez, 4 points in this game. First time since way back in the first half, Cliffside Park has taken the lead. 47-45 with 3:01 left to go in the 4th quarter. Red Raiders and their fans who have made the trek here to East Gym, they've got something to scream about. I'd like to thank our proud sponsors of all these broadcasts of Fort Lee Athletics. Law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, the Sedona Tap House, Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. On the horizon for both teams, their next games. On January 11th, Cliffside Park will head back home to host Ridgefield Park before they will travel and take on Baltimore City College High School on January 13th. For Fort Lee on the horizon, they'll travel to Nutley on January 13th before coming back home for a league game on January 16th against Dwight Morrow. Again, this is a big game when it comes to power points in North 2 Group 3. Both of these teams trying to jockey for position and get in the playoff field. Fort Lee is ranked 18th, would be out of the playoff contention right now. Cliffside Park above them in the standings, they are 12th. So Fort Lee could come back and win this game. That would be a lot of crucial, power points at their disposal if they pick up the win here today. Three minutes left to go in this game. 47-45. Cliffside Park has led by as many as 7. Fort Lee led by as many as 14 in the opening moments of the second half. Valdez takes Hunter off the dribble. Left hand is a beautiful finish. Everything seemingly slowed down to a crawl as Valdez cut across the lane. Laid it in with the left hand. Valdez with 15 points now for Fort Lee. 47 all. Hunter. Dangerous pass after he jumped up in midair, letting that pass go. Cliffside Park taking a little clock now to their advantage. Hunter getting double teamed. Calabrese. Across the middle of the lane, and it looks like it's going to be a stoppage here with 2:07 left to go in the fourth quarter. Fort Lee and Cliffside Park all level at 47-47 as you're watching all the action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Time starting to become a serious factor here. 2:07 left to go in regulation. 47-47. Cliffside Park trying to make it 2 consecutive successful trips here inside East Gymnasium dating back to last season. Fort Lee trying to go for their 6th win in their last 7 showdowns with their arch rivals. Calabrese will pull it back out and hand it over to Jamil Gonzalez. Gonzalez right across the lane, no good on the layup. Offensive rebound, first put back, no good. Second one also left short. Third one, though, is good, and it's an and one. A foul tacked on at the end of the play against Fort Lee. Jarrell's Ortiz just had that stick-to-itiveness. Missed on a couple of putback attempts. Third time was the charm. He's got 8. That went against Vickers, and for Vickers, that was his 4th personal foul. Ortiz missing on the foul shot. Correction, that foul was credited against Isaiah Valdez, his 2nd. Almost a steal produced there by Cliffside Park. Under 90 seconds left to go. Fort Lee down by 2. Valdez, finger roll attempt. Blocked out of bounds cleanly. No foul. Possession will stay here with Fort Lee. 1:23 left to go in regulation. Late sub brought on to the court by Haddon. Coach Haddon will bring onto the floor Nick Ortiz, the sophomore forward. Up top to Devin Chang. Chang with a baseball pass over to Max Greenberg. Greenberg trying to feed it down low to Vickers. Couple of players getting dirty and a timeout being granted to head coach Marcus Haddon of Cliffside Park. 49-47 lead for the Red Raiders as we're coming up on the final minute of play in this game. Again, we'd like to thank all of our proud sponsors as you see there on our screen. (49-47). Fort Lee has committed five fouls in this quarter. They are over the foul limit. Every foul now the rest of the way will send Cliffside Park to the foul line. Fort Lee tried to administer a foul there after they're trying to gamble for possession. Cliffside handling the pressure. Jacob Greenberg extending the defense out. Mil Gonzalez trying to salt away some precious time. Calabrese in the corner. Another three for the freshman. His 5th three of the game. He's got 17. Valdez looks to answer. He can't. Calabrese with the rebound. And Cliffside Park getting big play there. Valdez with a hard collision. Trying to help up Calabrese right in front of the Cliffside Park bench. 33.5 seconds left to go. Cliffside Park in front by 5, 52-47. Thomas Calabrese, the freshman, 5 threes in this game, 4 of which in the second half alone. He got fouled hard, and he will head to the foul line now to shoot 2. With the clock stopped, and if Cliffside Park hits their foul shots, then this one's going to be out of reach for the Bridgemen. Fort Lee cheerleaders trying to make some noise. And that's not going to stop Calabrese from rattling home another foul shot. He's 3 for 3 at the line. Game high 18 points now for the shooter off the bench. Second foul shot also good. 19 points for the freshman. What a debut in this rivalry. 7-point deficit now for Fort Lee. Devin Chang over to Valdez. Valdez for 3. Isaiah Valdez knocks in his first made 3 of the game. He's gone up to 18 points now in this contest. Fort Lee will take the timeout, down by 4, 54-50 with 23.5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And if you're just joining us, Cliffside Park raced out to an early 7-point lead in the first quarter, but then Fort Lee tied it up after 1. Took a commanding 28-17 lead into halftime, did Fort Lee. They stretched that lead to as many as 14, but then a furious comeback here by Cliffside Park, and the Red Raiders are less than 30 full seconds away from heading back home with another win against Fort Lee. 23.5 seconds left to go. Here comes the inbound. Full court pressure here by Vickers and company. And out of bounds on the baseline. Bruden with a great defense, forcing the turnover by Gonzalez. Hope is still alive here for the Bridgemen. 22.2 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Deficit is 4. Jang, pull-up jumper. Jang hits the front rim. A collision ensues. A couple of foreheads collide. And then an over-the-back foul whistled against Fort Lee. 17.5 seconds left to go. That'll send Cliffside Park down the other way for foul shots. And Christian Bruden was charged with a foul. That is his 5th personal foul. He is fouled out of this game. The sophomore got the start. No points in this contest. Bruden being told now that he's fouled out of the game as Jacob Greenberg will come in for him. Kendrick Hunter, 2 of 5 at the line here in this game. Missing on the first. Cliffside Park continues to keep the door open here for Fort Lee. Second foul shot, 17.5 seconds left to go in the game. Miss on a pair. Rattled around at the rim, dive on the loose ball, and possession arrow will give it back over to Fort Lee. Do they give a timeout to Cliffside Park? Wow, that is a back-breaking play there for Fort Lee. If it was a loose ball tie-up and possession arrow, it would have been possession going back over to the Bridgeman. Instead, a timeout was granted to Marcus Haddon, saving that possession, and also going to be getting them closer and closer to the finish line. Again, the return around game. This matchup is going to be coming on the first day of February as the setting will shift over to Cliffside Park. Fort Lee has dominated this rivalry of late, but now if Cliffside Park can hold on, they would win their second consecutive game, and winning both games here on the road in East Gymnasium against Fort Lee. A win would send Cliffside Park to 6-4 on the season. Fort Lee trying to avoid a 3-8 start to this year. The Bridgemen have produced back-to-back winning seasons under head coach Adam Schrager, but have been having the growing pains this season. Looking for an outlet. Quickly, Cliffside Park has to use another timeout after it was close to being a 5-second call. 14.1 still on the clock here in the fourth quarter. No time elapsed on that dead ball situation. So Cliffside Park will next be in action again on January 11th as they will be hosting league rival Ridgefield Park. Well, Fort Lee will be in action on January 13th as they'll travel to Nutley. It's been another fun edition of this rivalry that lives up to the hype. Subdued emotionally here in this gym because of the lack of students. And hopefully this rivalry can continue to grow and blossom without involving the extracurriculars between the two schools off the court. That'll make it even more fun to then have a jam-packed gymnasium and seasons going forward. Well, we thank you for joining us here on our broadcast coverage. 14.1 seconds left to go. Can't imagine that there's any more timeouts left. Cliffside Park, they just quickly inbounded up top to Ortiz. Ortiz is fouled. And that is the 5th personal foul against Guy Vickers. So Vickers becomes the second Fort Lee player to have fouled out of this game. Vickers and Bruden each fouling out. Guy Vickers finishes with 16 points for Fort Lee. Jarrell's Ortiz to the foul line now for 2. Ortiz missing on the first. Again, Cliffside Park has struggled mightily at the foul line in this game today. That was their 10th miss at the line. Second foul shot is good. Ortiz now up to 9 points in the game, 55-50. Fort Lee's got to get to the rim quickly. Pull-up jumper from around 16 feet out, no good by Valdez. Valdez tracks it down, stripped away, and the buzzer will sound, and Cliffside Park, for the second consecutive season, have come here to Fort Lee and will come away with the victory. The final score, Fort Lee 50 and Cliffside Park 55. With the victory, Cliffside Park will improve to 6-4 on the season. Fort Lee with a defeat will fall to 3-8. So that'll do it for our broadcast coverage here. We hope that you enjoyed it, whoever you might have been cheering for. Join us for our next broadcast of Fort Lee boys basketball on January 16th, as the Bridgemen will be hosting Dwight Morrow that evening. So for Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisic, I'm Dan Long saying so long, and thanks for watching Fort Lee Athletics here, courtesy of the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction, the law offices of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.